Hello and welcome to the Jack Mack Chats podcast, and I am your host. It's Jack Mack. I am the pilot of this podcast. Attention passengers, if you are listening to this podcast, it's me, your pilot, speaking. Like to ask you to buckle your seatbelts and put up your tray tables for a bumpy ride. Hopefully we won't have that much turbulence. Now, welcome to the show. I'm trying to get more visual. We're trying to go a bit more Joe Rogan. So that's why I've got the camera on for anyone who's watching. Let's get a beer open. This podcast is brought to you by Desperados. For when you're desperate and you need a camaraderie, always trust Desperados. Desperado, the desperate man's beer. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking like a madman. So, I'm in my childhood bedroom at the moment. I've got all my little toys, all my little nerdy stuff that I used to collect, like Joker bobblehead. I've got a Magic 8 ball. Do you remember these bad boys? Got this off Santa years ago. I think, now it's a few years old, so I think some of the water has like evaporated, because I can't really see that clearly the Magic 8 ball. Okay, let's ask it a question. Will this podcast be good? Will this solo podcast be amazing? Cannot predict now. Right, anytime it said that, I'd always just shake it again. Some people would wait an hour. Right, let's go again. Will this solo podcast be any good? Is it worth listening to? Yes, definitely. Yes! Ha! I get all my confidence from this Magic 8 ball. I ask all my questions to this Magic 8 ball. Should I ask her out? And it's like, definitely not. You're like, well, she could have been the love of my life, but guess we'll never know. Should I join the army? Yes, definitely. Oh, okay. No more podcasting for me, guys. I'm sorry. There we go. That was that bit. I might bring the Magic 8 ball into just my life. Just bring it into my shows, bring it on. Audience member asks me a question, I'll be like, is that audience member a dickhead? Oh, yes. Sorry, sir. He's spoken. So, yeah. That's it. What's happening? What's happening in the world? Joe Biden won. Well, I mean, they're still counting the votes. I'm recording this on the 17th. They're still counting the votes. Biden's won, though. You know? They can stop. As Trump tweeted, stop the vote. They don't need to do that anymore. A lot of people messaged me, by the way, and said, hey, I know that Trump is in your act a lot. I'm sorry for your loss. I was like, it's fine. I was that guy. Everyone's like, Biden. I'm like, yeah, Biden. Come on, Trump. Come on. That's 50% of my act. I will miss him. He was such a just clown. He wrote himself. He was low-hanging fruit. Tremendous. Nobody knows America like me. So beautiful. Oh my God, he's just so swift in his words. It's so good. So tremendous. I'm thinking Joe Biden, his impression's more smiley. You know, he reminds me of one of these Americans that would come to visit. You know, hey, it's great being here in Ireland. I love you guys. You gotta come to the States. Do you guys tip here? He reminds me of one of those. I love how, because he's got family in Ballindine. Is it Ballindine? No. Ballyhonest? Ballindine? Somewhere in the Mayo anyway. They're all Bally something. Ballyhane, Ballindine, Ballinrobe. Bally. Who is Bally? And he wins, and on the news, fuck's sake. I need to find out where this guy's. Right, I just looked it up. It's Ballina, right? It's Ballina. Joe Biden has family from Ballina. I think it's his great-great-grandfather. Every American, every Yank is my great-grandfather came from Walken. You're like, that does not exist, my friend. When I lived in London, the amount of people would be like, oh yeah, my mum's from County Schmilku. What? You know, County Schmiku. Sligo? No, mate, Schmiku. It's not a place. It's not a place. Nah, you probably didn't hear of it. Fair enough. You're the expert. So anyway, Joe Biden wins. And the RT News goes straight to Ballina. And they're like, Jesus, we're delighted. We put in a lot of work. You know, we're all chuffed here. Guys, you didn't do a lick of work. You've done nothing. You've done nothing. Someone's just from a place and you're like, we're going to take all the credit now. He's ours, that president. He's not even Irish or Catholic. He's Mayo. And he's not even from Mayo. He's from Ballina. That's right. Oh, Jesus. I know, what could they say? What could Ballina say? Like, well, he's one of ours now. We trained back in the early 1900s. We trained our lads to be chairmen. We did our work. It was a very slow burner, this one. We literally planted the seeds. We called it the Irish invasion. Not a lick. I'm just afraid when Trump has to go, he'll be like pulling the curtains and taking a piss in the Oval Office like, oh, Joe's going to be so pissed. It's going to be tremendous. All right, I'm just going to go back to Trump Tower. I'm the only president who didn't take the wage. I looked at the check and was like, what is this? What? This is nothing. Okay. Give this away. Give it to some charity. Yes. Oh, Trump. Oh, Trump. You'll be missed. You'll be missed. But don't worry, I'll get out Joe Biden. No president of America is not impressionable. Everyone. Obama. What? This country needs. Let's change. Absolutely. So watch out. Watch out, America. In other news, I've become a father. Thank you. Thank you. Not of a human baby, of a puppy. So we got a puppy recently in the family farm, and he's only 8 weeks old. And now everyone's at work, and I'm home alone, minding this baby, minding this puppy. It's really opened my eyes about parenthood, you know. It was also my birthday the other day, so, you know, I'm 27, I'm thinking about these things. Boom. I mean, I don't plan to have kids for a long time, but like, my God, it is so much effort to mind something. It's do you know what it's like? Tamagotchi. Except if you don't feed them, you could go to jail. Or the police could come around, you know? If I don't feed the dog, I could get locked up. I get thrown away. My reputation could be on the line. It's like dangerous Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi for adults. I'm going to open this beer. This Desperado. I think they should really use that slogan. Desperado for the desperate man. Is it Mexican? Hola, if you're desperate. If you're desperito, get the Desperado. There we go. I've got one of those keys on my keys that's only purpose is to open bottles. Beer bottles. Every man has one of those. You're not a man till you have one of those. Right? Sláinte. If I was really Irish, I'd have a Guinness. Really, if I was. But I am. I'm Irish enough for me to do non-Irish things, and people go, yeah, but he's still Irish, you know. Anyway, so yeah, it's tough, this parenting business. Like, you have to watch them all the time. Because if you don't, they could die. This dog is putting everything in his mouth. Everything. We go outside, he's tasting every tree, every leaf, he's eating grass. In my head, I'm like, why are you eating grass? But then I have to realize and remember that this dog is a baby and he's never seen the world. Like, he spent the first 2 months of his life in a pen with his mother and his siblings, and then we took him away and then we put him in our kitchen. He's kind of lived there for the last 2 weeks. He hasn't seen the world. He saw a horse for the first time. I bet he was like, what the fuck is this big dog? What breed is that? Why does it go... What breed is that? That is a weird dog. Yeah, you have to clue yourself into the way they think. got in touch with one of my friends from work, and she was telling me about how to train dogs. She's got a Rottweiler. Oh, by the way, this dog is a Jack Russell, so he's tiny, and he's not even going to get that big. So we're trying to obviously train them to pee outside and stop biting people. The toilet training's going great. The biting, it's getting worse, if anything. When he gets so immersed in the fun, he starts biting all around him. He's like, ah! He's showing you how much fun he is by biting you. That's like somebody having so much fun they start hitting people, which I know a few people who are like that when they have a few drinks in them. You know, yeah, we're trying to train that. So my friend, a Scottish woman as well, was like, every time, I don't know why I've spoken like, what impression is this? Peter Capaldi. All right, pal, I'm the doctor. I've travelled back in time. That was my Peter Capaldi impression for years. I actually got a pop of him. Oh, he's great. I'm the doctor. I've travelled back in time to tell you this great news. She said to me, every time he bites you, say, oi. I said, say, oi? No. Say, oi. Ow. Oi. I. A. So every time he bites you, you go, ow. But in a high-pitched voice. Because the way puppies work is, right, we're going to go back into his brain. He's around his mother. He's around his siblings. He bites one of them. They'd go, ow. Ow. He knows, can't do that. That's not good. So we need to replicate that. Unfortunately, it's not working. So I'm going, ow, 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 ow. And he's like, he's biting away at me. Like, I'm like, ow, stop. That's so sore. He doesn't give two shits, this dog. He's like, yeah. Another thing as well is we've got a little pen for him in the garage. Nice little pen for him to run around. But we've got a camera installed as well. And we can look at him, you know, just to make sure he's okay. It's kind of like a baby monitor. So anytime we put him to bed, he goes mental. He starts crying. Goes barking, howling. It's really cute because he's actually in bed snuggling a little tiger, but he's like, and he's like howling like he's an adult, but he's crying like a baby. So yeah, like, what do I do? I want you guys to let me know. Do I, as a father now, do I hit him with the discipline, boy, like Kratos? Another pop that I've got. So my brother got me this recently. Kratos from God of War. Boy! Silence boy. If you don't know him, Google him. God of War 4. He is the most aggressive dad in gaming. Brilliant father. Terrible father at the beginning, but brilliant father. Discipline is his number one priority. So he's got his little son Andreas. They're running around in the world of God of War, full of magic and witches and monsters. Kratos is a god from Greece, but now he's in, he's in Denmark, I think. We don't really know. It's called Midgard. And he is trying to spread his dead wife's ashes. It is a heavy game. The first 10 minutes, you will be bawling your eyes out. The music is so beautiful as well. Oh, no, no, no. It's so, oh man, it's really earthy, and like, as the music and the violin and it's also in Icelandic. Now, I don't think he's in Iceland. I will link it, but it's, yeah. But his parenting choices are to scream and shout at his child. He's like, boy! Silence, boy! Silence, boy! He's a man of very little words. Like, on one stage, their house gets attacked, and his son is like, oh, what's outside? I do not know, boy. Oh, let me help you. No, boy, you will stay here. So, do I come down with the discipline? Or do I just let my child run wild? Do I go discipline, and then him not like me? Or do I not discipline, but then he ends up being a a drug dealer or, you know, a bully or a hippie, or even worse, a hipster, walking around wearing fake glasses, fake doggy glasses, you know, giving his opinions on films and how they weren't PC enough for him and how they're oh man, they're burning the ear off you. Is that what I want for my child? To be sitting in a cafe drinking a latte with hazelnut milk, which is actually really nice, by the way, telling people how much literature he's read. Do I want that? Oh. It's the dilemma. It's the parenting dilemma. You know, my parents had it. They went for discipline. So, you know, and I still turned out a failure. So, let's get a switch. Oh. The foam nearly popped out. So that's the dilemma, guys. Comment in. Let me know. What's the best way? Do I go down on the discipline? They say as well, you shouldn't shout at your dog. You shouldn't say, no, bad dog. You shouldn't do that. Dogs don't speak English. They speak in words. They don't speak in sentences. So if you go, do not bite me, they don't know what you're talking about. It's kind of like having a 2-year-old around who doesn't speak the language either. You need to communicate through repetition. But you need to communicate what you like rather than what you don't like, because you don't want your dog fearing you, because it could run away. But also, that's not a nice situation to be in if your dog is afraid of you. Not nice at all, guys. So, let me know. So, okay. In other news, a trailer was dropped last week that really shocked the nation. This is, of course, Wild Mountain Thyme, spelled Thyme. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I've known for a while that Hollywood came to Mayo and they did some filming. Mayo has been a popular place for Hollywood to film since the 1960s when they did The Quiet Man in Kong, just up the road. And yeah, everyone's talking about Hollywood coming. Oh my God, Hollywood. Oh, would you love to be in it? And they said, oh my God, Christopher Walken's going to be in it. And John Hamm. Don Draper. I actually have a pop of him as well, but it's in Dublin. Don Draper and Christopher Walken in the same film. That is a film I'd see. John Hamm is a great actor. That's a film I'd see anyway. So I was interested. Maybe Jamie Dornan was going to be in it and Emily Blunt. Maybe it was going to be like, I don't know, like set somewhere else, but they're in Ireland because it's cheaper. I don't know. I didn't know it. They don't tell me these things. The trailer launches last week. It was even on the news. RT came out and said, they just were like, the accents are terrible. It's based off a play called Outside Mullingar. Why didn't they go to Mullingar? Wouldn't that mean more to Mullingar? But they went to Mayo. You know, that's like when Ed Sheeran did Galway Girl. Ah, my pretty little Galway girl. I met her on Grafton Street. That's in Dublin. The amount of tourists that come to Galway, like, I'm looking for Grafton Street. They'd be like, that's in Dublin now. You're a while away. Yeah. Madness. This trailer dropped and I couldn't believe it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to watch the trailer now. I think for a copyrighty, wibbly wobbly, legally weebly reasons, I can't show the trailer on the podcast because my lawyer said it's not a good idea. But I can talk about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch it and I'm going to feed you it back. So what I'm going to do is you can get this out as well at home if you type in Wild Mountain Thyme, spelled Thyme, official trailer coming soon. That's the official name on YouTube. The whole video is 2 minutes 30 seconds, just for a reference. If anything, I'll link it in the bio so you can watch it. So click on the trailer. We can watch it together. I'm going to watch a bit. I'm going to comment on it. How does that sound? Does that sound good? All right, let's do that. So, let's look at the beginning. All right, we're in, okay? So I just watched the first 10 seconds. It's 100% watchable, but for all the wrong reasons. Christopher Walken. I love Christopher Walken. I loved him in Click, when Adam Sandler was like, I want a remote that'll piss off the O'Doyles. And Chris is like, I don't know, the O'Doyles. Baby. Okay, he didn't say baby. Christopher Walken on Saturday Night Live is something you have to watch. He does a great skit. It's on YouTube. Like I think this was like back in the 90s, where when he touches people, he can see their future, but it's always a little bit crap. So like this woman is like, it's all in an office, and she's like doing her paperwork, and he bumps into her by accident. He's like, oh my God, your daughter, she's in the house with the cleaner. Yes? The cleaner's mopping the floors. Yes? Your daughter, she's running. Yes? She runs where the cleaner mopped the floor. Yes? She makes the floor dirty. The cleaner has to do it all over again. Okay? Don't you get it? There's still time. This could be prevented. I'll ring her later. I've kind of that's not the whole sketch. That's only a small bit, but it is so funny. He's so good. He's such a good actor, but he's miscast for this film. He sounds like he's in the mafia. So the trailer starts with him. A lovely cliff, few seagulls in the background. Welcome to Ireland. How? There was 2 farms. The Muldoons. The way he says Muldoon. And then he attempts the Irish accent, but he doesn't even do the Irish accent. He just goes off to fucking Leprechaun Town. He goes, where we Rosemary lived. And then there's my farm. And then there's him in his blazer, dressed like an Irish farmer, but it's Christopher Walken. It doesn't suit him. Doesn't suit him. I'm ready for him to pull out a gun or something, or do a speech. Would be like, listen, I've lived in Mullingar my whole life, but this is ridiculous. This is crazy, baby. We got crazy neighbors, so nosy. That's what I really want. If you could redo the film and have Christopher Walken just live his normal life as an Irishman, but talking the way he does in the film, I would pay so much money to see that. Imagine him living on the farm, trying to talk to his son and being like, I was up the road the last day talking to our nosy neighbour Noel, keeps looking in, trying to see how much land we have. Yeah, I'd pay a lot of money. Boy, I'd die or I'd kill Jesus Christ for a lovely crisp pint of Guinness. That's all I want in life right now. Yeah, absolutely. I'd pay so much. Right, let's continue. Right, we're back. So I've watched up to to the first 54 seconds. Where do I begin? The accents are just brutal. It's like they didn't hear an Irish person ever speak. The accents. When he thinks those things, like the Irish accent, don't get me wrong, we do sometimes say ting. But it's not like ting. It's so subtle, Don't get me wrong, the Irish accent is one of the hardest accents to do. It's very hard. I think it's because it's so earthy. Irish people we have a very emotional accent, and it's in the throat. That's why Irish people always insult each other, because it's too painful to admit your feelings. Way too painful. Right, let's get back to this. All right, so I'm on 1 minute 06. The drama's starting now, you know. There's a bit of fiddle in the background. Turns out Chris isn't going to leave his farm to Jamie Dornan. Jamie Dornan should have kept his own accent. That would have been, everybody do your own accent, okay? But you're Irish. You live in Ireland. Do your own accents. Go. Doesn't look like you're going to give the farm to your son. No. Jamie, he's not a good worker. Terrible with the cows. They've told me himself. How? He's so bad. He doesn't know how to shear a pig. It's terrible. Hey there, Sherlock. You didn't teach me right. I taught you so well. I would have paid so much money to see that. If he kept his own accent. Hey, Father Sherlock, hey. Yeah, that is it. Right, so the American cousin arrives, and it is John Hamm. They have cast the most dangerous American man in romance. Don Draper. Have you seen Man? He's seducing everybody. Men, women, everybody loves Don. He should have played Don. Don should have come over to Ireland, you know, cigarettes, 50s suit. I mean, I think it's set in like the 50s or 60s. Don's there smoking. Hello, hi. Fuck, I stumbled on that. Don wouldn't stumble. He'd be like, right, let's do that scene again. Beep, beep. 3, 2, 1, and action. Hi. So Emily comes over. Hello. How are you? Why don't you sit down? I don't know if I should be talking to strange men. Maybe you should live a little on the wild side. And then they kiss. Boom. Done. So, yeah, John Hamm reprised the role as Don Draper. Oh, we've got a good film here on our hands. Chris will be like, whoa, how? Don, you're so charming. Whoa, I want to bring you out for dinner. No, you can't. I'm busy. Yeah, that's... do you know what, lads? I should get into writing, because that's a great idea. Just me alone in my room, talking to my phone, drinking Desperado. Remember, it's the desperate man's drink. Right, so they're all having a bit of a fight. Don's like, do you ever come to New York? His accent's the best in the whole trailer. But yeah, then it just gets all very just rom-com-y. It looks like a mix between Brooklyn and Leap Year and P.S. I Love You. It's a mix of all those things. So the end of the trailer is just a big montage then of like all these lovely Irish things. She's singing in like, I don't know, the town hall. Like people falling off gates, stone walls. Don Draper's like, I don't get you people. And I don't get Irish people either, Don. They're all over the place most of the time. You know, that's why we're so charming. Yeah, why didn't they cast Irish people to play these parts? I was going to say Saoirse Ronan, but she had Brooklyn, so she's off the cards. Let me know, who would you have thought? I mean, if we're going down the whole Christopher Walken, maybe Robert De Niro could audition. I'd have loved to see that. Oh my God, that could be a video. Auditions for Wild Mountain Thyme. Robert De Niro, take one. All right, okay. Listen. Why don't you ask her out, okay? Your uncle was mad. Forget about it. Yeah, it's not the best Robert De Niro impression. That's what they should have done. Get it? Yeah, let's see a few other American actors audition. Right, I'm going to make that sketch. That's a good idea. I actually did do a sketch of Christopher Walken going, I grew up in a farm my whole life. And it did fairly well. People responded to it very well. They were like, yes, this is exactly how he sounds like. He sounds like he's in the mafia. If you want to watch a real Irish love story, watch Normal People. That's so Irish. I feel like two Irish people who just don't want to communicate. They want to, but they don't want to. And then they're, he's emotionally all over the place. And she's like, what's happening? And he's like, I don't know. And then he breaks it off only to be like, what happened? And she's like, I don't fucking know. That is perfect Irish story. Irish love. Everyone's everywhere. Nothing straightforward. It's highly romantic. A lot of mystery. So I'm going to be interested. Are they going to bring out a new trailer? I know the film comes out at the end of this year. So are they going to stream it or something? This film could be the next Room. If you don't know what The Room is, it's the worst film ever made. It was made by a fella called Tommy something. I don't know. I'm not great with names. And recently, James Franco made The Disaster Artist with like his brother, Dave Franco, and Seth Rogen. Sorry, Seth Rogen. Yeah, that's right. And he's just like one of the worst actors. This isn't the same genre as The Room. People will watch this ironically. So, that is the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, you can throw a few quid. We can keep this podcast running. It's just down below. I'll link it down below. It's a coffee link. If you have any advice about parenting puppies, let me know. If you have any comments you want to talk about, maybe with the film I just mentioned or anything I've mentioned on this podcast, let me know. If you like Desperado more than Guinness, let me know. It's all about communication, right? This is Normal People. This is how it works. You send me messages, I'll read them out. It's got to be tremendous. Nobody knows podcasting like me. I've got some of the best podcasts. Or I've listened to some of the best podcasts anyway, okay? But no, honestly, on a serious note, thank you so much for watching. I've got a guest next week, so tune in for that. Thank you so much.